Hi, my name is Danny Neifert. I am a licensed esthetician, and I have a holistic process that returns our skin to a self-purifying, self-mending, and age-delaying state. And this gives my clients a long-term and permanent solution to getting rid of all of this gunk that keeps building up in and underneath our skin. And I'm also the creator of Skin Harmonics. Today I want to talk about why deep pore cleansing facials and sessions are a necessity. Now, this is the one paid in-person hands-on session that I do, and it's because I realized many years ago that it was the one thing that completely changed texture in skin. And of course, this in-person session that I give is combined with the right skincare products and new learning. And so let's just dive in to all what the anatomy is of what makes a really good deep pore cleansing session, because it is a science, it is art. There is an incredible amount of skill that is needed to do these facials and sessions, so that the maximum healing potential is happening. And there's a lot of variation that goes into deep pore cleansing facials. And I want to talk about all of these different variations. And why it's so important to understand the variations is that the two biggest things that are at risk with a deep pore cleansing facial, once you decide you want to get your pores cleaned out, is that the two things that we're trying to make not happen is I don't want people to waste money, and we also don't want to hurt our skin. So let's first talk about what is a deep pore cleansing facial, like just by definition. And it's a facial that is focused primarily, has the number one mission for this targeted removal of clogged pores, pore filaments, blackheads, impacted blackheads, milia, and milia clusters. Essentially, these are all things that I call skin gunk, and it's a facial that's dedicated to the removal of this stuff. And that's knowing that what is not a deep pore cleansing facial. And this is a facial that just skips skilled extractions and defaults exclusively to mere exfoliation. And that would include clay masks, astringents, or any inflammatory practices as well. And this would include a hydrofacial, which I know that there's information online that a hydrofacial will cleanse your pores. It can't. Exfoliation is not the thing that's gonna clean out pores in a way that's gonna lead to the skin being able to clean out its own pores. We'll touch on that a little bit later, but that includes hydrofacials. Microdermabrasion is not a deep pore cleansing facial, nor is microneedling, nor is this, how I mentioned, this application of disinfection toners, chemical peels, though they can't clean out pores. Benzoyl peroxide, which is touted for killing bacteria, also completely destroys our skin's natural acid mantle, which puts our skin in this bad pattern of not being able to have the proper microbiome that it needs. And then this also includes lasering. So all of these things are not a deep pore cleansing facial, and they're not a substitution for skilled extraction that actually removes the thing. Because when we just default into exfoliation, we're just leaving the skin raw, irritated, dehydrated, missing an acid mantle barrier. And this, interesting and tragically enough, is the very thing that causes our skin to get all gunked up in the first place. And often deep pore cleansing facials are referred to as acne facials because extractions have conventionally been regarded as something that only acne skin needs, and thus combined conventional acne protocols. However, it is critical that we separate these two associations of deep pore cleansing and acne protocols, because they are definitely independent of each other. And the truth is that all skin types benefit immensely from a deep pore cleansing facial, as long as the practitioner is able to customize correctly to the very unique skin type. And that's important because, interestingly enough, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that all skin types, all skin conditions benefit from having skin gunk removed. And that's where it's important to find a skilled practitioner that can customize exactly how to do that without adding any more irritation or being too rough in any way, which means minimizing the steam, and knowing how to go in and take this stuff out without doing harm. And so there's a wide range of the extraction tools that are being used. I'm going to rattle off a few. Finger mitts that are used to squeeze or kind of milk the pores, which can be painful and cause capillary stress, breakage, and this only gets superficial removal. There's loop extractors, which they're used to press, and these are also painful. Capillary stress is inflicted and breakage, and there's also an incomplete removal with loop extractors. There's also an ultrasonic vibrational tool, and that's to shake. And this is not painful, but it also has a superficial removal result. There's wax, or this hard, wax that you can put on your skin, which pulls out blackheads, and that's painful. It does still have superficial removal, and it does create this undesirable skin stretching, which is not good for aging. And there's also vacuums. People are vacuuming their skin, and it's not painful. However, there is still this superficial removal. And then there's a lancet, which is this poking of the skin, and this can be painful, but it has the potential for complete removal. And with all of these different tools, it's not just the tool, it's how much time and experience the practitioner has in wielding these various tools. And the regulations vary from state to state, and there's no standardized training on extractions, and so it's very much hit or miss. And I personally would say that anybody that's been extracting less than 5 years is absolutely still a novice. I've been giving extractions for 20 plus years. So I consider myself a master extractor. And so let's talk about how often someone should get a deep pore cleansing facial or session. And the ones that I provide are once a year because they're so thorough. Now, traditionally, deep pore cleansing facials and all skincare procedures besides lasers are recommended once a month. And this is something that I find extremely inefficient for everybody, because when a deep pore cleansing session is given correctly and thoroughly, they aren't needed every month at all. And part of this is that we're remembering our skin back into how to cleanse itself, so that it's not relying on superficial cleansings every month. Like, it's actually regaining its own capacity. And this works with this is what makes my system so powerful, is that not only can we remove a lifetime of skin gunk in one or several sessions, but then we're also teaching our skin and giving our skin the sustenance it's needed to stay clear, so that it's not accumulating more and more gunk. So let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Just to the point of how monthly superficial deep pore cleansing facials are still just chasing and managing symptoms, and futile, really. The benefits of an effective, really good deep pore cleansing facial is that it gets, like I said, like everything out, almost everything out that can be reached without forcing anything. And this means that for people who have rosacea, for tween skin, for even elderly skin, for hypersensitive skin, there is a way to get this stuff out, because we're not, again, defaulting to inappropriate and over exfoliation. And there's tremendous benefits from this. Is that, number one, obviously, there's an incredible with a normal facial, with a normal deep pore cleansing facial, there is a short-term skin texture improvement. Great. However, along with these traditional deep pore cleansing facials, these monthly, more superficial spa deep pore cleansing facials that I called them, they are needed once a week, once a month, and there is also a risk of an unnecessarily painful service without any upside. Extractions do hurt. It's just how it goes, but we want our suffering to mean something, and we want it to not be in vain, like for a purpose. And so there's unnecessarily painful services being given. They can, like I said, break capillaries, even cause infection, bruise skin, and sometimes unnecessarily permanently scar skin. Often because novice extractors will over exfoliate, excessively steam, and just over procedure skin in general with whatever means that they have available to them, because they're not able to do this highly skilled thing, which makes the difference. And so continuing with superficial deep pore cleansing facials that are missing a lot of the components that my sessions have create skin over time that can just become more and more damaged and depleted from dermal vitality, and make skin health more difficult to turn around all the way in the big picture of things. Now, what can we expect in a deep pore cleansing session? Number one, these facials are not relaxing. They're just not. Get a massage, get acupuncture, go and find relaxation, absolutely, but you're not going to get it in a deep pore cleansing session. And so you're not going to get a massage. There is this singular mission, and this is what makes them unique, to remove all of skin gunk, and to do it in a way that normal exfoliation could never do, or no device or no procedure could ever do. So there is this singular mission of cleaning out and actually removing the stuff. And it's painful at best, and a bit uncomfortable is another way I've had some people describe it. And it's the one situation where pain is beauty. This is this one place where I think there is this, it's the quick pain that ends the long-term pain of having all sorts of skin gunk lodged indefinitely in our skin and causing serious long-term skin problems. So I want to just rattle off what's unique about the Skin Harmonics Deep Pore Cleansing Facial is that it's thorough and it's a complete removal of the skin gunk. It also addresses the root cause of all skin deficiencies and symptoms for long-term skin health. It's not just this quick fix procedure or hack. It's something that is leading our skin to this ultimate goal of lifetime skin health. And it's ideal for perimenopausal and menopausal skin. That's the only way to really shift texture in older skin types. And it also works for acne resurfacing as well. It creates this smooth skin texture for all skin types. And it also prevents and minimizes the development of possible precursor lesions by removing this chronic skin gunk that causes them to form in the first place when we get older. And my deep pore cleansing sessions activates and supports proper epidermal function and restores barrier for all skin types. It's this reinforcing of this natural, optimized state of our skin. And with my deep pore cleansing sessions, there's this super dose of dermal nutrients that are applied, not only for quick healing and for all scar prevention, but also for just supporting this long-term goal of wanting to maintain our dermal thickness. Because when our dermal layer begins to diminish, as it does, 1% a year past the age of 25, this is where aging begins. And so we want to go in and give our skin the actual sustenance to minimize and delay this dermal thinning. So there's a super dose of dermal nutrients that are applied and massaged into the skin. And all of this creates skin that is self-purifying on a daily basis. And this is also combined with simple home care that people can do every day to maintain. So the deep pore cleansing facials and sessions are a critical part of skin health. And it's interesting to me that it's sort of a blind spot in the industry right now, because skin texture is something that nobody really wants to deal with, and we can get so focused on the volume of our skin with injections and trying to maintain plumpness, which I agree is important. And yet there are other skin health indicators like texture that I think play maybe the highest importance, because we can have skin, and I've seen this, where it's injected, it's full, or it's not injected. There's somebody that's young and they still have a lot of, their baby fat and their baby collagen. However, if the texture of their skin isn't smooth, then that to me is the biggest sign of health, and should be something that we should be paying a lot more of attention to, and learning how to shift that texture in a way that's effective. Because so many of these things that I've mentioned, beyond them being just time consuming, is they don't work. That's why people are always vacuuming their skin, they're always scrubbing their skin, they're always cleaning it, and oftentimes the texture of their skin is getting worse and worse and worse, because there is this understanding of how to support and reinforce and reactivate our skin's natural inborn native release capacity that keeps our skin clear naturally. Okay.